Good morning. Today is Friday, July 17th, and your President Donald Trump is waking up at the White House. At 8 o'clock this morning, he'll be beginning his executive time, and at 5:20 today, he'll be attending the FIFA reception at Trump Tower in New York. Around the Twitter sphere, House Democrat leader Hakeem Jeffries pledges that Democrats will vote to defund deportations of illegal aliens. Jeffries says that is our position this year. Who knows what next year brings? So there was a speech last night, right? Benny Johnson is sharing. An FBI agent said, "I'm basically running a shadow government across the FBI at this point." China produced fake U.S. driver's licenses to manufacture tens of thousands of Biden mail-in votes in 2020. With Lyman with Border Hawk News is sharing that POTUS immediately declassified documents that shows election integrity issues gathered by the White House government and supported by intelligence chiefs. He says DHS investigation shows 278,000 non-citizens were registered in federal elections, but the real number is much higher than that. Y'all, it's exactly what we've been saying. The White House immediately came out and said every American, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should not be a partisan issue that divides Americans. Roseanne Barr said the fact that no news station will air the speech tonight is all the proof you need that there is a conspiracy between the major media corporations and anti-Trump sentiment. One bad dude says if you refuse to air the President of the United States addressing the nation on election interference, you're probably involved in the cover-up. President Trump says China influenced U.S. companies to turn against him and pay journalists large sums of money to report negative stories about him. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him. Before the speech even aired, Kamala was coming out and says, before the president gets on television tonight to peddle lies and conspiracy theories, here is what you need to know. The 2020 election was not stolen. We won and he lost. Elizabeth Warren's immediate response to the speech was, Donald Trump is spending his evening spewing lies from 6 years ago instead of lowering costs for you right now. So basically, we can't worry about what happened in the past, whether or not the election was stolen. We just need to focus on today. And then Nancy Pelosi piped in with saying, obviously Donald Trump is a loser. CBS News is saying the Trump administration is allowing immigration officers to consider whether some applicants have used taxpayer-funded benefits, including Medicaid, food stamps, and housing assistance, when determining whether they qualify for permanent legal status. And Zohran Mamdani, the mayor of New York, says to every New Yorker, this rule is not yet in effect. The earliest it could take effect is September 18th, 2026. New York City will use every tool at our disposal to fight this attack on immigrant families and the communities that make our city the greatest on earth. For any questions, please call blah, blah, blah. So essentially, we're going to fight as hard as we can to give your tax-paying dollars to people who didn't pay into the system. And Gavin Newsom said, tonight America watched the ramblings of a mad king. Donald Trump's address was not about the last election. It was this one. Before a single vote has been cast, he's already laying the groundwork to rig this election and convince you not to trust the results if they don't go his way. This is what authoritarians do. Don't fall for it. Organize, mobilize, show up, and vote in November. I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around the gaslighting that's going on when you're trying to say that the man who is calling for proof of who you are when you vote in our elections is trying to rig the election. It's like trying to convince me that 2 + 2 = 5. You can tell me that all day long, but I know it's not the truth. That's it for me for today. Y'all take care. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.